The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay, we had to do this, right? Almost 10 o'clock on a Saturday, and we still got to talk about what the puck just happened last night. And what just happened 5 minutes ago, okay? The Detroit Red Wings, they do us a solid, and they beat the Calgary Flames. And there I was, again, 9:30, ditching all my homies' calls. Outside of the one I just made to my homie who's a LeBron fan. And the Lakers get Luka Doncic today on the same weekend we trade JT Miller. Like, yo, think about what is going on in the world of sport. Okay, and next week's the Super Bowl. 2025, an amazing year in the world of sport. Anyways, I'm ignoring the world, and it's 9:45. The studio's empty. I took a nap 2 hours ago, and I'm here because I'm still so fascinated around everything. JT Miller to the Rangers, Philip Chytil to the Canucks, Marcus Pettersson to the Canucks. What's the other guy's name? Ryan O'Connor, Dylan O'Connor, Marcus O'Connor. That dude, like, this team's different. Just like that, and we play a game tomorrow. The Canucks are brand new. And we're so close to almost being fully healthy, okay? Apparently, and we got to start with this because the real stuff matters, okay? According to Patrik Allvin, game time decision for Quinn Hughes, okay? Banged up, bruised up. I have a theory, though. If the Flames would have won tonight, he would have played tomorrow. Because that dude's a real leader, a real captain. Guy cares about hockey that much. And Quinn Hughes, again, now the alpha, right? The real dog. Because JT Miller is a New York Ranger. So many things to get into, okay? The quotes coming out of Patrik Allvin this afternoon. People were tracking his flights, waiting for this interview. And you can go read it yourself or watch it yourself. I'm obviously going to be paraphrasing a lot. My name's Kyle Bowen, and this is Locked On Canucks. It's what we do. But yeah, it had me thinking a lot. Well, what a fascinating time to be a Canucks fan. So yeah, Allvin touches on the fact that these talks of trading JT Miller happened sometime in November, right around the time of that leave of absence or 10-game suspension or whatever it was. That's when the conversations really started happening. Like, maybe we should get rid of JT Miller, and maybe JT Miller needs a fresh start because he's got to look out for his health. His health. I feel like I heard that word a lot during Allvin's spiel about, again, why you trading JT Miller when you have Quinn Hughes in your prime. And 3 days ago, we were in round 2 of in Game 7 against the Oilers, and we're Pettersson away from actually beating the Oilers. Like, everything happened, and we traded a number 1 center. And again, Allvin made it seem like this was a must for the room, but more notably and more importantly, a 32-year-old JT Miller? Because hockey isn't that deep. And again, this guy sounded like he needed a fresh start. So yeah, JT Miller gets traded to the Rangers, and you wake up in the morning, you're still thinking about it as a Canucks fan, and before you know it, it's 1 o'clock, and JT Miller's already scoring goals for the New York Rangers, okay? Emotional times. What is going on? Again, tomorrow we play the Red Wings, and those Canucks are a brand new version of your Vancouver Canucks. There's so many things going on. Anywho, back to the whole JT Miller thing. Again, he needed a fresh start. The team needed a fresh start. Tyler Myers talking about how he's never played with a teammate that's held that much weight in a room, right? Again, these things are making you think. And on that note of the Vancouver Canucks being new, this leadership committee, the energy in that room, it's going to be brand new. And I'm actually really, really excited for Quinn Hughes to take up more of that space. All right, if we're talking about the aura or the energy pull in that room, since Miller's gone and no longer does he have like 51% of that room. in the palm of his hands. It's Hughes' room. In fact, I think it's like 99% Quinn Hughes and 1% Tyler Myers, or like 0.5% to Demko, 0.5% to Myers, right? And I'm okay with that. Because let Quinn Hughes be the only version of a leader in that room, the only version of an example for the next couple of weeks before more people step up. Cough, cough, Elias Pettersson. Because again, Elias Pettersson don't got to look at what JT Miller's doing in the dressing room. How about you just stare at Quinn Hughes and look at a captain, the guy that you were paired up with, a guy that's younger than you, who took last year as a learning lesson after winning the Norris and understood that he had to get way, way, way better for the team to get way, way better. Because round 2 ain't shit. You didn't accomplish anything. Hughes took that in, and again, look at how he's evolved. He's done the most. Obviously, his preparation is second to none, right? He's that dude. He takes it seriously. He takes hockey seriously. He takes his job seriously. He understands the responsibility he has. Like, he has to be the only example in that room right now. And again, I'm excited for him to take up all that space that is no longer there, because Miller, who had the most weight in that room, he's in New York. Again, it's new. And just to even touch on that even more, it's not the best thing if JT Miller held the most energy in that room, okay? Held the most weight in that room, being an assistant captain and being too emotional. He walks the line. The guy who walks the line, it shouldn't be the guy who holds the most, right? In that room. It's got to be the stoic. It's got to be the in this case, the best player too. We're so lucky to have a lot of talent on this team. Okay, not that long ago. You know what I'm saying? You give that responsibility to Quinn Hughes because you don't want volatility setting the tone in that room. And JT Miller's a volatile guy. Again, I love the intensity. I really do. And I would appreciate it 100% of the time if it correlated to wins after wins after wins after wins, because then it's working. But if you look at the Vancouver Canucks since JT Miller, joined the team all that time ago in 2019, I looked at the stats. I'm pretty sure I'm going to combine overtime losses with like regulation losses, because, a loss is a loss. But yeah, since 2019, and that started the season, the Canucks were what? 210 with their wins and 212 with their total losses, with, again, JT Miller, one of the best point getters in hockey on this team. AKA, we didn't win much. So there's a good chance, because, again, we didn't win much, that we're actually better. Maybe not more skilled. But again, the bar isn't that high to get over when it comes to the new version of the Vancouver Canucks, because winning matters. Winning is the only stat that matters for a team that has Quinn Hughes and also hasn't won a cup in 50-plus years. So again, for me to move off of this ASAP, I'm just looking at that, okay? It's not like we won a lot of games with JT Miller in the lineup. The points, the goals that he scored today in Boston, the 2 goals, that's cool. But I'm here for wins, okay? Speaking of which, let's talk about the new. Let's talk about Marcus Pettersson. Again, I'm irate last night, okay? We already flipped that first. What? How could that be? And for who? Marcus Pettersson? And to get off of bad contracts? Did we really trade JT Miller, a 100-point point getter last year, an outlier in the NHL? One of those guys. Did we trade that guy for getting off of bad money and Marcus Pettersson? Again, I was going through a lot. But then I woke up this morning, spent some time with my girl. Love is in the air. I need to surround myself with more positivity right now, okay? Being addicted to the Vancouver Canucks right now with all these L's, it hurts. It hurts. I'm not the same guy. Anyways, I'm around the love with my girl this morning. And what happens? Okay, I realized the truth. And just like I did in 2019 and doubted the success of the JT Miller trade to the Canucks, right, when Benning pulled off that deal in day 2 of the draft with Tampa, right? JT Miller looking like a salary dump at the time, or a must trade at the time for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And here we are giving up premium assets while being a bad team for JT Miller, who wasn't a number one center, right? And again, I'm doubting it. I'm being pessimistic. Boom, bam, he shoves it up my ass, right? Boom, bam, proves me wrong and becomes that guy. So again, I started off being disappointed, and I was relatively surprised. And boom, bam, you fast forward to the now with Marcus Pettersson, and then you also throw it back to the Philip Perona trade a couple years ago involving Horvat. There I was again. I think the first episode of Locked On Canucks or the second. Go check it out. I was pissed off. I was mad. No way a team that's historically losing should just give up first-round picks for a little bit of uncertainty and give up first-round picks so loosely. Like, why can't we just keep a first-round pick, okay? Anyways, I'm mad at the Hronek trade. And you fast forward 12 months after that trade, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Allvin doing his thing and getting a blue liner like that into the system. And now he's done the same with Marcus Pettersson, right? And the jury will be out ASAP, right? It is what it is. We need Marcus Pettersson being really good. And a part of me, again, after being around that love this morning, is accepting the reality that, hey, Allvin and Rutherford may be right here. In a new system, you got UFA, Marcus Pettersson, who's probably gonna be a Canuck long term. Again, if you're gonna trade a first round pick for a guy, I'm sorry, this could be a catastrophe if you don't extend this guy. And I hope we do, based on him proving himself and still looking like a top 4 defenseman and maybe like a number 3 defenseman. I know that sounds crazy, but some people, Jay Fresh, talking about this guy being a top pairing defenseman. I'm just saying, I'm ready to be proven wrong because I'm ready to win. I'm ready to win. Yesterday, I'm upset. Today, I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan again. And I realize that, again, we're only 1 point out of the playoffs. We got the 3rd or 4th best player in all of hockey right now on our team in Quinn Hughes. And we need to win. We need success. We also need Elias Pettersson, who, again, Allvin talked about, right? Allvin said, I'm paraphrasing again, but he said this, there's nobody he's putting more pressure on this team than Elias Pettersson. It's that time. And we talked about the energy that has left that room, okay? The grip on that room is no longer held by JT Miller, okay? The only one going to be holding the room together right now is Quinn Hughes because he's a winner, okay? But for Pettersson, I think, to take the next step in his career, he's got to be a leader, and he's got to earn the respect of that room because you know it. You know it. It's not there right now. We got a bunch of nice guys on that team, but I guarantee it. The respect for Elias Pettersson and, again, his leadership in that room, it's not there. A lot of pessimism outside, but also in that room. You can just tell. Again, look, come on, okay? Look at what happened. Nashville, what was that, game 3, game 4? In Nashville, they score a goal. They knock down Elias Pettersson right after that goal is scored. We're talking about the playoffs. We're talking about JT and Quinn being on the ice at the same time. This guy gets obliterated after Nashville scores a goal. And, hey, he doesn't do anything about it, and the team doesn't do anything about it. Again, it was the playoffs. And then you look at what happened this year, and the dude who had the most weight in the room is gone because, A, he was struggling, and he needed to get out of the room. But B, and maybe this could be the A point, they needed to pick between Pettersson and Miller. You know what I'm saying? It's still a sensitive room, and winning fixes everything. And if this team's going to win some games, and I'm not talking about next year, I'm talking about now in the next 30. Yo, Pettersson's got to be a big part of that success. The biggest part of that success. How about you take the load off of Quinn Hughes while he's just banged up, right? Playing so much, doing the most, taking a toll, playing through injury. How about you take a load off of him and carry this team? And I think he will. I really think he will. Why? Because I hung out with my girlfriend today, okay? Come on. Okay, love is in there. And we need this guy to be better than Jack Hughes, okay? Operation Elias Pettersson, get back to being better than Jack Hughes, because that's the only way Quinn is going to stick around going into 2030, okay? Or 2029, whatever the year is. Dude, Elias Pettersson, be better than Jack Hughes. Anyways, one love to you and you and you and you. We'll get to a lot of your comments. I wrote a lot of notes. I still want to talk about a lot of things involving Allvin's presser. I'm not going to get pessimistic, but I'm going to bring up some what if scenarios too. I'm curious to see what you guys think about what I'm about to say, because again, my mind's racing, man. I'm smoking the Vancouver Canucks pack every day. Morning to night, 3-4 times a day, I'm smoking the Canucks pack, and I'm addicted. And right now, bro, there's nothing more polarizing than your Vancouver Canucks. Anyways, let's shout out Game Time and then get back to your comments and talk to you and go through my theories. Again, you're listening to Locked On Canucks. Hey, one left to the Burnaby Gardens. This place is shutting down in a couple months, being torn down, for real estate purposes. And just really appreciate this place. I'm blessed. And again, one left to Game Time. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. And boom, bam, I told you. I could have went to Shane Gillis last night for $61 on Game Time, okay? But what did Patrik Allvin have to do? Make a trade for Marcus Pettersson at what, 10 o'clock at night? What? What are we doing? Anyways, if I was to go again, I would get that $61 deal to see Shane Gillis, and I'd use Game Time. And heck, if you're a first-time customer, well, what can you do? You use Locked On NHL, the code at checkout, and you save $20. Okay, that's a guarantee. Speaking of guarantee, you know why I like Game Time? Again, I told you about the $61. That's the price I saw when I viewed my seat. If I click that button, I'm not getting hit with any other price but $61. That's Game Time. Be honest, okay? So go check them out at Game Time. Again, download the Game Time app. Create an account and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL. That's LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets at the lowest price, guaranteed. Okay, guaranteed. Boom, bam. Okay. People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Speaking of which, go Canucks go. Okay, go Canucks go. Emotional life right now if you're a Canucks fan. We play tomorrow, 1 point behind the playoff spot. I'm pretty sure Calgary also plays Seattle tomorrow, if I'm correct. So again, big swing game. And again, we need Elias Pettersson helping us out and picking up these points. Think about this, right? If Calgary did win tonight and then also won tomorrow, and if we lost tomorrow, we'd be 5 points behind the Flames. Hey, recency bias. I think the hockey gods are on our side. Again, the Red Wings beat the Flames tonight. Anyways, I got more theories about everything involving the Vancouver Canucks, but I want to get to some of your comments first, okay? Let's pace this show out, okay? One love to you and you, and you and you, and you and you. Again, you're listening to Locked On Canucks. Okay, Mike's saying that the Red Wings are on a heater, and yeah, they're coming to Rogers Arena tomorrow. And we have a lot of new faces. Again, we came into the season with like 9 new players, and now Philip Chytil's going to play tomorrow. What's the dude's name? Ricky O'Connor? Rajan O'Connor? Trevor O'Connor? That guy's going to play tomorrow, right? Marcus Pettersson's going to play tomorrow. 3 new players. It's going to be a tough game. That all being said, again, in recent history, outside of the last 40 minutes of Nashville, I feel like the Canucks are playing their best hockey in a very long time. So there's a chance at Rogers Arena, again, without Quinn Hughes possibly as well, this Canucks team gets the job done. And I don't care if it looks ugly tomorrow, to be honest, just pick up 2 points. But there's a chance that, again, it doesn't look ugly. They're playing better. And again, Pettersson. I think he wakes up tomorrow, man. I think something happens. A lot of people are talking shit about him not coming into camp in shape. That possibly being the reason why JT Miller just, again, it's the way he leads, called him out, potentially, right? Leaned into him, said some things. Who knows? All that being said, the offseason's not till months and months and months. And some people are already saying the things, right? We just got to wait for Pettersson next year. Let him have a good training camp. Now he knows what he needs to do. Again, Tocchet's been telling him what to do. Allvin's been telling him what to do. Rutherford's been telling him what to do, how to train. Allvin touching it on it again, saying that he gets it now. He gets it now. Elliot Friedman saying, hey, Pettersson's off the trade block, okay? He's sticking around. That being said, I want to see how much heart this guy has. How much will this guy has, okay? Can he look within and get past all these physical issues because, he didn't work out this summer or whatever, and just instinctually through skill and, again, the heart, bring the fire to the Vancouver Canucks and just get it going, okay? I don't want to wait till next September. I don't want to wait till you got a gym pass, okay, for 2 months in the summer or 3 months in the summer. Look within and get the job done right now. And I think he does tomorrow against the Red Wings, okay? Oh, man. Garrett Ma saying it's actually McGregor O'Connor. What? Crazy, man. Speaking of Mariano O'Connor, David Martin saying that Heinen battled pretty hard. Okay, Danton Heinen, hometown kid from Langley, played, 1.5 games for the Vancouver Canucks? Thought his life changed. Thought his family's life changed, right? It's a big deal playing for the hometown team, and just like that, business is business. This all being said, I wrote about this too. I don't think Heinen was horrible. And Trevor made the point too, right? This is what kind of pissed him off yesterday about the Marcus Pettersson trade. Like, could you just have kept Danton Heinen and not looked at him as like somebody who's not living up to $2.5 million a year, whatever he's making? Like, what's the number on Danton Heinen? It's not even that high. Again, did we have to trade JT Miller to dump some bad contracts? Like, could you have been more patient with Danton Heinen? Even though he was inconsistent and sometimes a little quiet, I thought his floor, again, as somebody was saying in the comments, there was effort there. There was some intelligence there. Again, there was some invisibility. But I wasn't chomping at the bit to get rid of that contract. That being said, they did. And I wonder if they did because the Canucks and Patrik Allvin are about to announce, this is breaking news based on my intuition. They're about to sign a player, okay? And they're about to extend somebody, and this may surprise you. But this week, the Canucks are going to announce the extension of not Lankinen and not Besser, but a Pius Suter. Like, if you kept Danton Heinen around, would you not have the money for Pius Suter, who's going to be making more than the chump change he's making right now? Maybe not significantly more. Maybe he'll take that committed discount to stick around, but he's going to be making Danton Heinen money or more, probably more. And I think we need to keep this guy around because I thought Suter and Heinen were similar going into the season, but Pius Suter is just way more of a quality player, such an intelligent player, such a cerebral player. He just bounced around the lineup. I still think he has a lot of good years ahead of him, and his penalty killing is just effective. I don't know if it was Faber, but somebody tweeted it out, and I don't know these calculations, but I'm pretty sure Pius Suter is like a top 10, top 15 penalty killer. So again, maybe we have to get rid of Heinen ASAP so we could get those contract talks starting with Pius Suter. We got to keep Pius Suter, but losing JT Miller and Pius Suter, come on, man. Come on, man. Look at this comment from Andrew, okay, saying we're not getting Mikko Rantanen. Again, last night when I was pissed off and we dumped all this salary, and again, we gave up a first-round pick to acquire Marcus Pettersson and also to get off of bad contracts, and everyone's just like, yeah, we got some money. We saved like almost $3 million after all these trades, and now we got $27 million of cap space going into the offseason. Let's throw the book at Mikko Rantanen. And I was saying the same thing because I was mad. But man, oh man, like Mikko Rantanen, quote unquote, a sexy player. And right now, the Vancouver Canucks, not a sexy place, okay? Not everyone wants to come to this strip club, okay? I'm sorry. It's just like the Canucks are, bro, they noisy. And more notably, they're not winning. They're not winning. Collectively, this culture, this court, right? The duo of Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson, you throw Demko in the mix. Like, they've been around for 5 years. Like, this team just don't win. They don't win. Not an appealing place, okay? They won once. The bubble, I'm not going to count the bubbles. Last season was a real season. They won once. And that's just not appealing. So that's why, again, I don't know. Who knows, though? We got 30 games left. Again, we never won a Stanley Cup. We don't know how this works, okay? This could be the biggest miracle of all time. But right now, the Canucks ain't the appealing place for Mikko Rantanen. I'm telling you that much. I'd love him. I really would. Because I think he brings the intangibles as well. He's a bit more of a stoic, too, than obviously than JT Miller. He's a champion, a really good player, a hard-nosed player as well. And, yeah, he's just so skilled. The guy's a dog. And I think they call him the Moose, too. That'd be a nice way to replace Mark Messier even more in the Canucks history book. Anyways, one more comment. Look at this comment from Vance, okay, saying, Kyle, do you regret trading Horvat? I don't. Good player. But, hey, we got Hronek for him. And, again, historically speaking, I know the Islanders are doing better right now. And I think, yeah, the Islanders made the playoffs last year, if I'm correct. They did, right? I don't know. Just at the time, we're not winning a lot of games. Horvat's the captain. Like, yo, something's got to change. I know it's crazy to look at this team and see all these changes and be convinced that they're a better team when, again, like 24 months ago, it's Elias Pettersson, Bo Horvat, and JT Miller down the middle on this team with Quinn Hughes still playing games, right? And Demko, like, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about, but if we don't trade Bo Horvat, I wonder if things are different for Quinn Hughes. And not to say that he wouldn't, like, compete or try hard with the Canucks or, like, he'd be petty about never being a captain for the Vancouver Canucks. This guy just wants to win. But obviously, and I think Quinn Hughes has said this many times, like, his life changed when he became the captain of the Vancouver Canucks, right? Like, he took it way more seriously, and that's this thing being a hockey player, a great hockey player, and he was already given all this God-gifted ability, already taught the right way, has that tutelage in his family. Like, he was already going in the right direction. But I think the captaincy propelled Quinn Hughes from being like a top 5 defenseman in the league or a top 15 player in the league to like the best defenseman in the league and a top 3 to top 4 player in the game right now. Like, he got better when he was named the captain. So I don't regret trading Horvat because I'd rather have one Quinn Hughes than 18 Bo Horvats, okay? Yep. That's the truth. That's the truth. Now, speaking of the truth, I wrote down some more theories. I want you guys to communicate with me on the YouTube side and even on the Spotify or the Apple Podcast side, okay? Just join the Discord, get in on the conversation, because I thought of something, okay? I wonder if the Canucks, right, that same team that JT Miller said back in April he would never leave, right, because of Allvin, Rutherford, Quinn Hughes, Demko, and Pettersson. He mentioned Pettersson in that spiel, too, when he, like, this is the place, right? It doesn't get better than this. Like, we're on to something. He was feeling that energy, okay? Vancouver's different in April when the team's winning. It's a beautiful place already, but it just feels even more beautiful, okay? It feels like heaven for a hockey player here, okay, when you're winning. And looks like heaven, too. All in all, I wonder what happens if this team, this offseason, somehow got Zadorov signed. Because he's a glue guy. He's a team guy. Taka gave him a lot of credit for, again, just keeping that room light. Like, how many times did we hear Taka saying that, okay? Obviously, there is some importance to that, okay? This team needed Nikita Zadorov. And if it wasn't Zadorov, I wonder. And I know it looks crazy at the time, but I wonder what would happen if the Canucks matched what the Maple Leafs gave Chris Tanev. And wasn't that like a 20-year deal? Like, isn't Chris Tanev a Toronto Maple Leaf till he's 42 or 50 or 40? Like, they gave him a lot of length. Was it the max? Like, yo, looked crazy at the time, but I wonder if they brought a glue guy in to that caliber who could also play to be an important leader. And, like, the thing about leadership, too, and like, you need to be able to say the right things, but it even works even more if you're succeeding on the ice. Again, Zadorov, inconsistent in the regular season, but you never know. Maybe he would have fed off that energy that he had in April and May and brought that in the regular season. Still would have been successful, still played at a top 4 level. You never know. Held some weight in that room, right? But hey, if they gave that to Chris Tanev, you already knew you were going to get that. And if this room was equipped with one more guy like that, one more glue guy like that, could they have avoided a dispute in September between Pettersson and Miller? Could they have avoided that turning into a rift? I wonder, because they're hoping, and I know Miller's gone, but they're hoping that bringing Marcus Pettersson in there not only stabilizes the decor, but stabilizes that dressing room. Like, there's an emphasis on this guy being a happy, goofy guy, right? Not always so serious, okay? Like, he adds to the chemistry. Again, they had a chance to get Tanev, and they had a chance to keep Zadorov. Guys just like that, and they wouldn't have to, at the time, give up assets or whatnot. They just have to spend some money, and we're going to have to spend that money right now on Marcus Pettersson to keep him, because, again, it would be a catastrophe if we didn't extend him. So, yeah, I wonder. Because, again, it wasn't that long ago, people. Like, bro, we are literally in May playing hockey against the Oilers, and we're like, yo, if we had Demko, we're beating the Oilers. We're going to the Western Conference Finals. Yo, we're telling ourselves, yo, if Pettersson just woke up and played to his potential, we beaten the Oilers in 6. I know we're delusional, but we took the Oilers to 7 with no Elias Pettersson and no Thatcher Demko. Think about that. So we're thinking highly of this team, and just like that, Pettersson and Miller getting along for a short period of time, boom, bam, one more thing happened, and it's trade JT Miller. Like, who knows what exactly happened, but it's nuts. And I wonder if Quinn Hughes had some help with the leadership in the room and had like a different personality to bounce off of, and again, fix issues. I wonder, yo, could this have all been avoided? Man, oh man. Give me a second, okay? Give me a second. Sorry about that. My station almost fell off my desk. And maybe that's a sign for me to get out of here. But before I do so, more comments, man. Some people are mad, man. Look at this, man. Is this, how do you even pronounce this name, man? Are you AI? This person saying, you got your wish, Petey. Now show us what you can do. Put on your big boy pants and perform like you're making $200,000 Canadian every game. Bro, that's that's it. That's it. He's got to do it. Like, that fixes everything, right? Winning fixes everything. We talk about the glue guys. We talk about the happiness. We talk about people keeping it light. You know what keeps it the lightest? Wins, baby. Wins. That's what this team needs to smoke right now to relax. Man, oh man. Next comment. What was the comment I wanted to get to? Okay, it comes from Jax. Okay, why were the Canucks so afraid of re-signing Tanev? He's still so good. I don't know if they were afraid of signing him. I'm pretty sure that, like, again, Quinn Hughes got them Kiefer Sherwood. I'm convinced that Quinn Hughes was like, yo, sign Chris Tanev too. But can somebody double check it? I feel like Chris Tanev signed an 8-year deal at his age, right? Like, let me search this up, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. And I don't know if there's any other team. A 6-year deal. I'm sorry, Cole. So Chris Tanev signed a 6-year deal worth $4.5 million a year, and he'll be getting paid that much until he's 40 years old. So again, maybe they looked at the age and they were scared. Maybe they just looked at the term and they were scared. Again, how many years did Zadorov get in Boston? 6. The Canucks didn't want to go long-term with a lot of pieces this offseason. And again, that's why they didn't sign Chris Tanev. I'm sure they offered him a 4-year deal. They got to be. They got to be listening to Quinn Hughes and everything he says. But yeah, he would have been so good. Because I'm convinced that he kind of reminds me of Quinn Hughes. Now, that sounds crazy, but I just think this guy's such a hockey nerd, and he prepares well in the offseason, and he has this, like, competitive nature that is Again, I would say second to none, wants to do whatever it takes for the team to win, including keeping the dressing room light. But you see the way this guy risks his body. That also scares other teams away from, matching the term that Toronto gave him. Cause you're like, this guy won't make it past 36. Like, look at the way he plays. Look at how he played in the playoffs last year, right? The guy was limping, but the guy was playing all those games against the Oilers. Okay. You see this guy in a boot walking through the airport, still playing hockey. And it's like, the guy's a warrior. And again, Father Time. Yeah, Father Time never loses. But if Chris Tanev can do it, like, he's making sure he plays to 40. He's like doing the most on that contract. Okay, because he loves hockey and he wants to do good by the Maple Leafs and all that stuff. It just, again, as Tyler's saying, he's a cyborg. Okay, Chris Tanev, man, could he have fixed the Canucks? Could he have kept Miller here? Smirky McSir saying, why are you guys talking Tanev? Because it's our life. Like, what do you mean? Come on. We'll talk about whatever we want. Come on, man. I look at Major Canada saying the biggest mistake we ever made in the last 10 years was not signing Tanev at any amount or term. Again, after the bubble playoffs, the Canucks decide to pay Braden Holtby. Travis Hamonic. Did they sign Travis Hamonic as offseason? I'm pretty sure they might have. They're just spending money in other places. Have to get Braden Holtby, have to extend Jake Virtanen, have to extend Tanner Pearson instead of signing one of the most important defensemen in the league, and Chris Tanev. Again, Jim Benning doing his thing. Jim Benning spending all his time also trying to trade for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Right? And not paying attention to Chris Tanev. And, even on that Zadorov note, like, and the Lindholm note, I know this sounds crazy, but again, this core went to the bubble playoffs, the fake playoffs. They won a round. They took Vegas to 7 games. And how did they get rewarded? Dude, that room got stripped apart a month later. So many pieces from that team left. And then you fast forward to what happened last May. This team went through, I'm not going to say a long run, but they got to game 7 or round 2 again after not making the playoffs for a while. And I know it was figuratively impossible to keep the bunch together. Or, again, you don't want to keep everyone together if all you did was get to the second round. But this team had players, wish management got the Lindholm deal done because they just wanted to keep Lindholm around. I'd be convinced that a guy like Miller and company would love to keep Zadorov around, and they lost both those guys. And I wonder if, again, keeping one of them would have helped, because I can only imagine this core just feeling some sort of a way. And also some sort of a way that they replaced one of those guys and spent quite a bit of money on Vincent Desharnais, a guy that they were exposing in round 2. Anyways, Kyle Bowen signing out now, Locked On Canucks. I'm sure I had some more notes, but we went through it all, and I'm feeling more confident, okay? Marcelius O'Connor, Aaron O'Connor, that dude's going to save the Vancouver Canucks, okay? We good. We brand new. And to end things off again, not to put it all on JT Miller's shoulders, but again, since 2019, since the time he arrived, the Canucks, 210 wins and 212 total losses. So what did we really lose? You know what I'm saying? But where's the bar? Not that high. It's a good chance we're a better team. Go Canucks, go. Enjoy tomorrow. 1 point behind the playoff spot. Let's cheer for the Seattle Kraken, and also, again, beat the Detroit Red Wings. Elias Pettersson, maybe without Quinn Hughes tomorrow. You better step up. Yo, if Pettersson don't step up tomorrow and Quinn Hughes is not in the lineup and it's like 4-1 in the second period, you're going to hear JT Miller chants at Rad Rogers Arena. Okay. I got to call my girlfriend. Okay. That got dark. Peace out.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.